starting to find ways to keep this up and to keep these seeds alive, because once we lose these seeds after they've been generated for 3,000 years, we lose a lot of things. Not only do we lose our seeds, but we lose ourselves. I really feel like that. And a gentleman once told me one time, he says, you know, we need to take care of the corn because the corn takes care of us. And so corn is a very good part of our culture out there. We consider our mother. And so we got to take care of our mother. And so by taking care of our mother, she produces new kids for us, and we're able to take care of the next generation of Hopi farmers. And so that's how that is. All these seed banks that are out there, you know, and I give them an honor for trying to protect the genetic material of these seeds. But the problem is, if you don't grow these seeds out year in and year out, they don't have a chance to adapt to the environment. And I think that's what's important, and that's what a lot of indigenous place-based societies have, is they grow them year in and year out. And so they've changed over time. They've changed over 100 years. They've changed over 1,000 years. So they continue to adapt, right? But if you just lock them up like you do these seeds, it's like putting them in a prison. They don't have no chance to grow. They wind up having a revitalization rate, or whatever that word is, and so they don't grow well. And so that's very important to plant them year in and year out. You know, for us, it's an act of faith that we plant because we have such a dry climate. And so it's kind of like that, but that's what makes these things so valuable, is to plant them year in, year out, so they don't lose any of their vitality or any of their special place-basedness they had before they were put in a big warehouse, you know. And so it's just kind of like that.
So everybody will come around here first, and I'll try to do this. Just real simple. So come here, everybody. Yeah. So anyways, you take about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7 of them if you can, or 6 or 7, and then you just put them in the hole like this. Drop them in there, and then you get this wet stuff on top of it, and you just push it in there. And then you put some rice, and you just pack it down. That's all you need to do. Pack it down. Yep. After, you want to do it again? Want to show you again? Let me do one more. Let me do a couple. Okay. You do one more. So you can do that. So you take 6 or 7 beans, and then you drop in the hole. You put the wet stuff on top, because that's the most important stuff, because it needs to germinate. Then you scooch it back in. Go to the next one. 6 or 7, drop them in there. You can find the wet stuff that they divoted out. Just put that on there, and then just cover it back up.
I'm using a modified one-row planter. I plant in clumps. Now this is a little bit different in the conventional agriculture, because in conventional agriculture you have 14-inch rows. You have 1 seed per hole. Those seeds are spaced about 1 inch apart using the mechanized planters that they have out there in the Midwest. And so because we're in a dry climate and we only receive 6 to 10 inches of annual rainfall a year, we've been planting up in this area, up on the Colorado Plateau specifically, for the last 3,000 years. And so, and because we don't use irrigation and we only receive that small amount of precipitation, we have wide rows. So rather than your 14-inch rows, we have 6-foot rows. And rather than putting 1 kernel per hole, we put 10 or 12 kernels per hole. And that allows, at the depths we plant, was anywhere from 6 inches to 1.5 feet deep, to come up through the soil through a force. And so they're able to come up from deep depths like that. But they're also been designed after 3,000 years to spread out laterally about 20 feet. I've seen these roots go out about 20 feet. And so that's incredible for any type of maize. And so it's adapted to our arid environment. So it's very important, especially in a time right now where we're going through climate fluctuations. And so this is our way, and has been our way, of dealing with that without using any pesticides, herbicides, any soil amenities like potassium, phosphorus, or nitrogen. And so the other reason for this too, the clumping, is because when it gets hot and the heat stress, these plants protect each other. They're like a community, and also they help each other from lodging. During the winter time, we just harvest the ears, but then after we harvest, we'll leave the rest of the plant on the ground. Unlike conventional agriculture, where they'll take everything off, we'll leave it on the ground. Adds new organic material to the soil. And also, when we lay them down, when the snow drifts across the field, they form like snow catcher berms. And so the following year, we'll plant in between the rows that we did the previous year. And so that way, we're optimizing the amount of soil moisture that's available. And it's always been done this way. We used to do it with just a plain dibble stick and a steel planter that we do by hand, but we've modified that because we're losing a lot of a lot of people who do this anymore. So our farmers have dwindled. And so we're starting to find ways to keep this up. And these crops that I'm raising here are going to go home with me. They're going to go home and be distributed to the community. They're not going to be used for sale. They're not going to be used to be tested, like genetically sequenced. They're going to be used to give back to the community so that we can increase the chances of having more people farming that way. And so these crops are also very nutrient dense, meaning that whatever they take up from the ground here, because we use no pesticides or herbicides here, they just take up the natural minerals that are in the earth that make us healthy, not the stuff you buy in the supermarket, which has been tainted down. And what they're planting in the Midwest is just basically planting on dirt with a whole bunch of soil amenities to make the crops grow like they do. And so is this economically efficient? No, it's not. But is it health-wise good for you? Heck, it is, you know. And so you have to kind of look at the trade-offs there. And so I wish we can get more of these small farms. This is a typical size pond of about an acre. That's how we did it traditionally, because in our environment, where I'm from at Hopi, there's a lot of sand up there, there's a lot of sagebrush up there, and if you plant more than an acre or 2 acres at a time, you have a chance of the wind just taking off all your topsoil and you losing that.
No, good day for new life, right?
A good day for
Every
new
day's a
life.
good day
And
for
so
new
you're
life.
not, like I said, you're just not planting crops, you're planting children. You know, I think that's the important thing.